Hello, 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 and welcome to Bridge to Freedom, one of our authentic narratives. Thank you for joining us. I know people are joining from various parts of the world. Good day to you wherever you are. We're so excited that you can join in this inaugural edition of the Bridge to Freedom, a program that promises to really show you how you can enhance your life and where you get to hear my story, the story of my life and the journey of my life, especially my professional career. So I say, welcome to you. I see some of you are joining from various parts of the world. Thank you so much for joining. If you can tell us where you're joining from, that will be exciting. So please let us know. Are you joining from the United States, Maryland, DC, Virginia? And are you joining from Africa? Where in Africa are you joining from? So please let us know. Let us know. Let's make this very interactive. I do appreciate your joining. It is exactly 11:01, and I will introduce myself. I am yours truly, Remy Duyele. I am a leader who has experienced so many ups and downs, great things and not too so great. But one thing for sure is I stand ready to be a shoulder that a lot of people can lean on because a lot of my experiences too has been very exciting, has been very rewarding. So, as a person who has had the privilege of navigating this world thus far, with so many things to share, I will be engaging with you the next few weeks in this Bridge to Freedom program. It's an exclusive program that was born out of passion to help people birth their promises and their purposes because I know it is possible. Because I know that we all carry similar burdens at some point in our lives. And in my life, I have experienced various junctures that I know for sure that whoever is leaning, whoever is hearing me today can leverage in their future endeavors. So, once again, welcome to the Bridge to Freedom, that authentic narrative. And I know you're wondering, how did we come about? What inspired the Bridge to Freedom? Before I even tell you what it is, what inspired Bridge to Freedom? For those of us who know, that word bridge symbolizes something that can carry weight. When you have to go through, go across, get elevated, a bridge is something that's strong enough to carry you. And I know that freedom is something that we all strive for, whether it be freedom of speech, freedom to express ourselves, freedom of mind, not to have to be a clone and be like everybody else. We are originally and creatively made, and we are authentic. And the ability for us to bring our authenticity out is really what's going to distinguish us in this life, in this journey, because there are not going to be too many people that will be like you. There are no two people that are alike. The uniqueness we bring to life is what makes us unique. So, hence the reason for the Bridge to Freedom. As someone who has navigated the corporate America when he was not popular, when he was not coming to say, oh, let's have this diversity, let's have this inclusion, I had the privilege of navigating this great journey of corporate America, rising as a teller to vice president, starting with an MBA. I know some of you have heard my story. This is all you're going to hear. You're going to hear a lot about my stories, and I know you can see yourself in that story. Your own story might not be exactly like my four strike story, but I'm sure you are at a point that you can echo what I'm saying. So the real idea behind Bridge to Freedom is to give you the opportunity to be able to hear not just my story, to have me hear your story, to see how can we together navigate and make this stories that will help us pivot, story that will help us be that bridge, story that will give us that freedom that we desire and that we deserve, because that is, everybody deserves freedom. Everybody also needs a little shoulder to lean on here and there. So the next 26 minutes, we are going to be engaging in what Bridge to Freedom is. And yes, it's going to be an ongoing program that we'll be hosting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, same time. and occasionally Sunday. But the most important thing is your ability to stay plugged in to the Bridge to Freedom group and the Bridge to Freedom family, if I may say that, because that's where you're going to get live, up to date information on how you can enhance your life, your career, your community, and so on and so forth. So, what inspired me to really go this lane is having been a young person that migrated from my home country, Nigeria, to the United States of America in quest of education. And I always tell people, education I got. But it's not just about the education, guys. It's about the engagement in the host country that enabled me to get the education. How did I engage to be able to deliver myself so that all the possibilities that I enjoy, not because I'm the smartest in the room, just because I'm able to persevere and I'm able to see more and be more, can also be shared with others. I want to be that shoulder that you can lean on. I know some of you are already part of my network. You're already part of my mentorship group, but we want to make this open to others because a lot of people want to see who can be original, who can be authentic, who can truly tell that real story. Yes, you see the Remy now. You say Remy does this, she did that, and da da da. But when you hear the real story of what Remy did and how Remy did it, you can say, "Oh, I can do this. I can do this." Are you in a position whereby right now you're going through so much? It's November and you're thinking it's almost the end of the year. I've been on this job for a long time, but I don't get that satisfaction that I want. Yes, you get money. Guys, money is not just the only thing that will make you happy. Of course, it's so needed. It's next to oxygen, if you ask me. But it's not just going to be the only thing. You've got to be able to understand how do you navigate that great job that you have. That's putting food on your table. That great job that you have that you get excited about. But that great job that you also have when you're in the corner of your bedroom where you're saying, how can I get something better? How can I get out of this? But of course, you do the show and tell. People see the smiles, they see the glare, they see the flare, they see you looking all that and a bag of chips. But you know in the downmost of your heart, there's something else that you know is missing. If that person is you, you need to be part of a bridge to freedom community. You need to be part of that. Simple, because there is nothing that you are going through or that you have experienced that has not been experienced by others. And of course, you'll hear my story and you'll hear all the leaders' stories who have been around and who you can put your fingers on and see what they have done. Right. Bridge to freedom is just what it is that bridge. The ability for me, as someone who has experienced so much, to be able to birth it and use it so that other people coming behind me do not have to go through the same problems that I had overcome. The same problem I had overcome. One case in point. I know some of you are hearing me speak and you're saying, I don't like to speak in public. I don't like to speak at all. Guess what? My fear of speaking turned to my passion today. I knew I have to tell my story. And the only way to tell that story is to be able to have a voice and to be able to not worry about whether the accent is showing in the voice. Hey, what is that content that's showing in that voice? Do you need to slow down so people can hear you? So this bridge to freedom will be exciting. We're going to be vulnerable with each other. We're going to help each other get to the next level. And then, of course, freedom. Freedom is not free, guys. Every of your experiences, every of your pains that you've been going through till now, it's the price you're paying for freedom. So you should do everything within your power. You should use every tenacity you have to ensure that you have your freedom. Because freedom is not free, but it's freedom. You've got to get it. And if you've been paying it forward and you've been doing your part of what you need to do, then you definitely know that freedom will help you to amplify. That's the word I'm looking for. It would help you to amplify that voice that needs to be heard by that young leader, that girl, that boy, that man, that woman, that business that's stuck. And they're thinking the power belongs to one person. I'm here to tell you, nobody has the power to make or break you. If you don't let them, they have no power to make you. And you know how? I know because I've been there. Even the powers to be who believe that they have it all, they still need people. They still need to be able to engage with others. So, what I'm saying to those of us who are joining, thank you for joining. I see that you're joining from various places, and I salute all of you. Thank you for joining. So, the bottom line is for you to truly enjoy that freedom. And in this series that we're going to be going through, today's introduction, we're going to have various topics that will be of interest to you that you can tell me for sure that you see yourself in. Have you ever experienced a ground zero experience? Have you ever felt like this is ground zero? Yes, I have. And I know some of you have. Whether you're true to yourself or not, there is always that situation that makes you feel like you're all the way down and you're like, where else can I go but down? But I'm here to tell you that you can rise up again. You can rise up again. And we're going to show you the techniques that's needed to do that because we've done it. Most of the things that we're going to do is not about what I Google in the book. It's not what I read in the book. They're going to be mostly my life experiences, which I can prove and test, that have been proven and tested. We're going to have to talk about what is the defeat to failure. Failure is nothing that should stop you. Failure just simply means you are not going to do it the same way you just did it, but it should not kill your dream. So, in the Bridge to Freedom family, you are going to learn the how not to let failure kill your vision, your provision, and who you are. We're also going to talk about what is that price of power. There's going to be topics like that. What is that price of power? Yes, you're an influencer. You are a driver as a leader. But if you're a leader who is an influencer and you cannot drive, you're not going to be able to execute. So, how do you take that leadership of an influencer, of a driver, and execute? Because what people want to know is what can you do for them? Of course, they want to know who you are, but they want to care about what does knowing you have to do with them. So, in this series, you are going to get experiences, talk to people, and hear some of my stories on how I know price of power can be very, 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 very hard. It can be very expensive. It might take some sacrificial times. It might take some balancing act. It might take some opportunity cost that you know for sure that yes, your denial of something now, you can get it later and still not compromising your standards and your values. That's what's going to distinguish you in this course, in this program from any others, because it will not be a sugar coated or let's wait and see. This is going to be an intentional community where we all thrive and where we all succeed together. That is the minimum promise. And I know together we can do this. Persevering in purpose. Again, you know you're in purpose. You're doing all that you need to do. And then you know it's tough. But nobody sees. They see the smile, they see the glare, they see the flare. But again, you're thinking, God, this is hard. This is hard. We are going to help you go through those hard moments because you know why? I have been through it. I have been through it, and we all go through this moment, but we cannot give up because there's no need to. We just need to understand that we're not alone in that journey of going through and being through. We just need to be authentic and to be real with ourselves and to be intentional. Be intentional with your network. What is that network that you have? How would your network be your net worth? Let me say something to you. We always have this cliche, oh, your network will determine your net worth. It depends on how you use that network. It depends on how that network gives you access. You know, you think sometimes you have access, you have a network. What work do they want you to do for them? And what do you need to get out of it? So, as I'm speaking to all of you, I want you to be able to ensure that you are giving me the chat. What would you like to see in this program? What would you like to see in this life changing experience that I have immersed my whole life in as a way to give back to the future and to the people who might want to learn one or two things? Because I know together we can rise. There's absolutely nothing stopping us. What is stopping us is us. It is us. And when you are someone in a network, you better believe it that network still have clicks. Yes, you might be a paying member of a place, and you will still see that you're getting to be boxed into a clique, and you're thinking, hey, I'm paid my money, how come I'm different? Hey guys, we're going to teach you how to not be part of just the crowd, how to be impactful where you are in, where you feel like you're in an echo. The echo situation is real. Of course you're going to get somewhere and you'll feel like, oh, I'm alone and this. Guess what? Other people there are feeling the same. But again, you're going to hear more of this as we begin to dialogue. Join our group. We have up to 200 members that we want. After 200, we're cutting it. 200, if you're interested, join our Facebook group. Make sure you are there so you constantly get information that will help your everyday life, your every community life, and all that good stuff. Never be in a haste to be seen. I hear that all the time. Growing up in corporate America, and of course, being someone who has been enterprising ever since I even left corporate America, I'm a serial entrepreneur, have my own nonprofit organization, and have raised a lot of mentees who are doing great things. Being in a hurry to be seen is not necessary. When you're building, whatever you're building is going to be growing in you. And when you know that the time is right, and when the perfect time is right, you're going to be announced, you're going to be advertised. And of course, you're not just going to sit there and wait for that time to come. You're going to serve yourself strategically, volunteering to ensure that you're helping other people achieve their dream. That is the secret, helping other people achieve their goals. Because as you do that, as an educator, I see that all the time. You think you're helping someone, when they see that your help is adding value to them, they are going to open up and pour out a blessing. Just something that you never thought that will, boom, open up that window for you to even go higher than you can ever imagine. I see a question here. I'd like to know how to harness all my gifts to impact people. Thank you. That is a great question. And that's part of my note here. You can definitely harness your gifts. All of your gifts will not come right in front of you. Some of them you're going to discover as you help other people, as you harness it. So the best way to harness that I have used is strategically volunteering, helping other people to go far, and of course, learning in that process. You remember I said strategic. Strategic because you go after where you have interest. You are supporting what you're interested in. So that helps you to open up. In corporate America, I was never a golfer, but I will follow my client to golf because I know that my sales to meet my goals and to continue to rise as an eagle in corporate America was contingent upon myself. It was contingent upon how I network. So what do? I go there, I volunteer. I might be just manning the tables. I might be the one checking them in. And by the time they're leaving, I've planted that seed. When they're leaving, I'm like, by the way, even before I say by the way, they say, oh Remy, where do you want me to sign again? So there I'm not at my seat in my office. I'm on the golf course. I didn't go because I didn't know how to golf then. But I'm adding value because they needed that piece of work to be done. And I could have said, "Oh, I'm the vice president. I don't think. I think this is this is too little." I wasn't thinking like that because I know what I carry. But I needed to harness more of my gifts. And what those harnessing were doing, being in a space with people who already have money, who are making big time money, who are big name people. The only way to break your fear of engaging with them is to be in their space. And how can I be in their space in this scenario? Is simply just being that person. To even be the person that will check them in was a big deal. I will be the one. And from there, everybody will pass through my sign up and I would do what I need to do. I'll meet my goals, go back to my office, and I'm smiling all the way, meeting my goals, hitting all the buckets that needs to be hit. And of course, being invited to their events, building my network, growing it. So harnessing your gift is important. And you can do that all the time if you wish to. But if you're looking for a tic-tac-toe, you want to invest in yourself. That's why you need to hear from real people who have done it and been there. Not that they know everything, but they can share what they know and what worked for them. For me, it worked. My strategic volunteerism helped me open up to know why do these people choose golfing versus something else. And when I started doing the same golfing, I knew that there's a quality time that binds you together when you're on the golf course. So by the time you went through all of that holes, then you will have accomplished something. So if you're hearing me and you're a professional or you're a young leader who is looking for how do you connect, serve your way to greatness, invest in yourself. Another way to harness that is investing in yourself. So this bridge to freedom is going to show you things that you can do to invest in yourself. First of all, you need to have a mentor. You need to be you part of a thriving community. The bridge to freedom will be a thriving community because we are going to be looking for up to 200 people maximum on our Facebook group, whereby we can intentionally not just I myself just pouring, but we are going to have influencers. Influencers and drivers is what leads to execution. And exactly that's what you're going to get in the bridge to freedom family. Ground, when you are grinding, there's situations, these are things you're going to see in the bridge to freedom. There are times you're in a lonely place, but you're grinding. Maybe an idea came to you. You don't even know who to go to because the idea might sound so big and you might think, how do you do it? How do you not do it? Again, I'll use a case in point. But when you're grinding in secret, don't worry, it's going to pay off. Recently, some of you who might have followed me would know that I was part of an election here in the United States of America. It was a tall order, yes. But one thing for sure, we were short this time, but we raised close to 200,000 just for a first time runner. And we had close to 4,000 people vote for me. For instance, you could say she just came out and did it. No, there was a grinding moment, guys. It didn't just happen. There was a grinding moment in secret that needed to test my capability and my ability to go in that lane. Because knowing that my ultimate goal is to be that voice to the voiceless, to be able to affect legislation was that next step. But even through the whole process, yes, we didn't make it run this time, but another level of relationship was formulated. Another level of respect was earned because for a first time runner to come out, but they didn't know that first time runner was grinding. I didn't just come out and say, "Oh, I'm doing this." We were building. We were building. So if you're there and you are part of a family, the Bridge to Freedom family, you can grind in secret. And when you grind in secret, you can test out what has been deposited in you and knowing that failure is not a sentence for vision killing. Your failure should never stop you. And I don't even want you're not doing something right this time should never stop you. Guess what? There were lessons learned in that process. And those lessons learned clearly will distinguish you. It will build your confidence and it will make you become more authentic because there's a uniqueness you bring to the table. In corporate America, there was a uniqueness I brought to the table. Of course, I was a vice president, of course, like some of the other folks, but there was a uniqueness, there was an ethics, there was a behavior, there was a pattern, there was a way I carried myself that constantly endeared others to me. And being a young in my 20s, vibrant, just unstoppable, and just figure I can work hard and do anything. Thankfully, having a structure back to that bridge, having a structure from a good foundational home in my home country sent me here. I had that grounded structure of hard work, of perseverance, and of having that tenacity to do what I need to do. Are you out there and you're feeling alone? You've gone from one program to the other and to the other and to the other. I want to tell you, do not look any further or make this an additional to the programs and test it out. Bridge to Freedom is truly what it is one of the authentic narratives. And you are going to clearly discover your authentic self when you stop trying to be a carbon copy of somebody else. You are going to see how free in your mind you are. And that was what led me to Bridge to Freedom, because I got to a point in my life, I figured that there was so much that has been deposited. There's still so much that is being deposited every day, especially when you're in the classroom with those educated young leaders. You're constantly learning, you're constantly getting vibrant, and you see that how do you pass on this information so that if you're out there and you're stuck, I challenge you to join the Bridge to Freedom Facebook group. Join our the 15-minute interest program. You see the thing running through now. Go ahead and get on my calendar. I can spend 15 minutes with you. Let's talk. Let's see what's on your mind. What do you need to do? And of course, you know that the Bridge to Freedom program is here to stay. It is a program that you are clearly going to be using to enhance not just your corporate life, your family life, and all the other things. One thing for sure is there's no division in your life. When you have a schedule, you should schedule everything. If you're taking your daughter to the ballet, you're taking your son to football and all that, you should have everything penciled. That's how I did my life when I was in corporate America. So everything that was part of my life was on that calendar. So we are going to talk more about those things as we journey on this. This is the first edition. This is just to whet your appetite and to kind of get you acclimatized with what we're doing, that the movement has started. It is a movement and it's here to stay. And if you're stuck, it's November. It's not accidental that we're starting in November. It's almost the end of the year. But don't worry, get the next year ready to roll and set your timeline, because I've been there. Don't just be like the bunch that are just there moving and going through the motion. We want execution. We want you to have results. And I know that you all that have joined me today from wherever in the part of the world, I see you all from all over the world. I thank you for joining. I will be on the same time on Thursday, same time from 11 to 11:30. And please go on and join the Bridge to Freedom program. We do have where you can opt in. We'll send you information so you constantly get information on what we are doing. This is a movement. And if you're stuck or if you're thinking that I'm alone and I want to be like the Joneses, no, you don't. And you can stand out and be who you have been called to be. But your circle is important. And we're going to show you how do you build a circle that matters. Circle is different from circle. Like I said, you can be part of a network and still not be networked. You could be part of a network and you can be overlooked. How do you get around all that? You stay tuned. Bridge to Freedom will help you decode those things. And this is not just something that is Googled or was told. These are experiences I know. So one thing you're going to get from this program is that experiential learning, which is the only way to distinguish yourself and get those results so that you and I can continue to pivot to that next level. There should be nothing stopping us if we do not stop ourselves. So I want to say thank you to all of you who have joined again. You see, the joining the Bridge to Freedom program is your first step in the right direction. The way to join is on there. If you're interested in the interest conversation, please go ahead and also sign up. The spaces are filling fast, and I think I enjoy the fact that a lot of us want to be able to do better and be better, and that is exactly what we want to do. So I'm going to post the interest joining link. So if you're interested, you can just hit it up and see what's available. I don't know what's available, but you can see it and pick it, and I will give you 15 minutes of interest conversation where we can talk about what you want to talk about and uncover what's needed and see if you're the right fit for this program. And if you are, I can assure you that you clearly will not regret it. You will not regret it. This is the first of its kind program that I have thought out deeply to see how do we replicate and make those coming behind us better and not have to crawl again. We've paid the price. How can they pivot and continue to go further and farther? That's what's going to happen when you're part of the Bridge to Freedom. So there's another link that I want to be able to share with you so that you can use it now or later. But all in all, we are looking at the first 200 people who want to be part of our Bridge to Freedom Facebook group. After that, we would not take more people. If we do, it will be for a fee. But the first 200 people can join. And of course, we can learn together, earn together, and return together to celebrate the goodness of what it means to be part of a community. This is going to be a real and authentic community. So I thank you all very much. It's 11:30. I thank you so much, and I look forward to you joining me same time on Thursday. And please share the link. Those who might not be able to join now, share the link. Let's get it out. Let people know what they can do and how they can do it. But we are here for you to get this brand out there and to ensure that you get results. That's what's up. That results oriented program is what this is. So thank you again. Take care and blessings.